Hello Cancer, welcome to your New Year 2023 tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the month of January, the New Year 2023. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now we're going to look into your general energies. What is the message that's coming through for you? What is it that Cancer needs to know for this coming year, for the new year, the change of the year, the coming month of January? What we've got? Well, we've got that Gemini card, that Lovers card. Let's take a look at that. The sixth mystery of the tarot. Let's find out what is going on there using our Dove and Serpent spread. And we are going to include a mystery card, a bonus card, a confirmation card. Let's see, what deck do we want to use today? I think we're going to go with the Ancient Italian Tarot deck again for our mystery card, bonus card. These are all pre-shuffled, but I like to do just kind of a random card anyway. And we're going to leave that right there. We're not going to look at that until the very end of the reading. And, you know, hopefully that will tie the reading together and give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the very end. So please stick around to the end of your reading. So we have some major, some air, some major, some fire, some major, a lot of air, and a lot of fire. So we don't really have a lot of the water element, and we've got just kind of pretty minimal earth element here, okay? But the water seems to be what is primarily lacking. So I don't know if there's just not a focus on the emotional side of things, or a focus on the deeper connections, the meaningful relationships, maybe the romance, right? Or if that is just, it's not an issue because it's already pretty solid, right? So let's look at the energy that we do have and see if we can kind of pinpoint where some of that water and earth may have been going. The first card that we did see is this. It's an air card. This is the card that rules Gemini, the Lovers. I think there's been perhaps a lot of sacrifice on your end lately. There's been a lot of difficult choices involved in your life. I think that you have been trying to choose the greater good in a lot of what you have been doing, okay? And especially going into this new year, I feel like you have a lot of plans. And we're gonna go ahead and use that as a segue to this Ace of Swords. And this is crossing your Lover's energy, your Gemini energy. This coming year, right? In the new month, the new year. Now I say Gemini energy, but that's only because the Lovers here is the card that rules the sign of Gemini, okay? I know we're doing a Cancer reading. I don't want to make myself confused. So we have the Cancer significator card right here, which is the Chariot, so we can remember that this is a Cancer reading. But regarding this choice or your plans for the future, what you want this new year to be, I think you're really choosing like the greater good, the greater good for your family, for your loved ones, for yourself, but for everybody that's close to you, everybody that's involved, everyone that is, you know, affected by the decisions that you make. Okay, so you're not really choosing the more personal or selfish or, you know, the more pleasing aspects of your life. You're choosing the path that is going to provide the most for everyone involved, okay? And I see that you really have a lot of ideas, a lot of plans for the new year. Ace of Swords, this is like maybe one great idea, right? Because, you know, the ace, number one, maybe there is one particular thing that you're focused on. One project, one area, one business. It's a little bit putting all of your eggs in one basket, but I think it's a pretty sure thing, right? I think the basket is a pretty stable basket. I think it's a good way to go. The Ace of Swords energy is brilliant, magnificent. It's really a wonderful energy. It's a wonderful kind of focus, right? It's really a laser focus on this one project, this one idea. I'm thinking that you have it feels like one really great idea, one really solid plan. So there might be, you know, multiple aspects to this plan. It might be a very complex kind of thing, a lot of moving parts. But I feel like the energy is singular, okay? And I think that this, again, is part of this choice to benefit the greater good, to do what's best for everyone involved, not just what's going to, like, kind of make you happy and give you the fulfillment and satisfaction. But I don't want that to take away from the idea that this will be satisfying for you as well, right? So it's not that you're sacrificing for everyone else. You're kind of just, you're doing what's going to be best for everyone, all right? And I feel like that's a lot of these, the choices that you're going to be making in the next few days, the next few weeks, are really going to be geared toward what's best for, for your family, for your group of friends, for your loved ones, for the people that rely on you. This could be a business, a professional scenario that we're talking about, but you're going to be doing what's best, right, for everyone involved. I think you're getting ready to close out a previous cycle. Like the old era of your life is kind of wrapping up, okay? I feel like there are still some things lingering from your past, from your old life, your old business, or the old work that you've been doing, or your kind of the old way of thinking, the old way of behaving, right? I feel like with these new choices, these new prospects, whatever this Ace of Swords is, right? Whatever this plan is for the future, this great focus, this really laser focus, really intense. Whatever that is, in some ways it's almost like you're leaving your old life behind, okay? I think there's a feeling here of you're not the same person anymore. You don't have the same kind of, it's almost like you look back on certain things and you feel like they're just like old toys, like old sweetnesses. And you're now moving on to bigger and better things, right? You have more focus on what is really meaningful to you and what is going to have this kind of greater good that we're talking about. But I feel like there are a few things here that still need to be tied up. You still have some links to your past life that don't necessarily need to be completely severed, right? But they need to be kind of organized in a way that they are minimally invasive, okay? So they're not interfering with this new plan that you have, this new focus, new trajectory, this really unified idea, project, plan, okay? And then in the immediate future, we do have this Five of Swords. So I think in the immediate future, okay, there's going to be some challenges, some setbacks. Things are going to be fluctuating. There's going to be some ebb and flow in your perspective, some ebb and flow in your observation of things, the way you're experiencing this situation, this scenario. You're going to see things kind of going up and down. There's going to be maybe a lot of confidence one day, a little bit of self-doubt the next day. Really optimistic, really hopeful, really just kind of ready to pop the cork on the champagne. And then the next day, maybe it's looking like things are taking a turn for the worse, right? So there's going to be some fluctuation there in terms of how you're perceiving things. But again, this is like the very near future. So this is like the day-to-day, you're going to think, oh, wow, today is pretty horrible compared to yesterday. But if you look at the long term, you might see that this is a natural fluctuation, that you are still kind of trending upward in your plan, in your activities, in your success, in your manifestation of whatever area of life this is taking place, okay? Again, it could be in your professional life, your career, could be in your creativity, right? What are you doing to express yourself creatively? Could be in your personal life, your home life, the relationship sphere. Whatever and wherever this is happening, I think you have to maintain this inner resolve, right? Don't let anything kind of sway you or deter you from this Ace of Swords, okay? You have to really hold tight to that central idea and have that firm resolve to stick to your guns, to stick to the plan, to stick to your kind of confident attitude that this is the right thing, okay? You have to have full faith in yourself because there will be fluctuations in the observable manifestations of this, right? Some days will look very good, some days will look bad. And I think that's going to play with you mentally a little bit. The confidence will be high one day, maybe a little lower the next. But now what we see on the path of the dove, the vertical axis here is really terrific. It's all it's all major arcana energy. Okay, now at the very top we have this Magus card. Mercury, the juggler, the magician, right? This is your highest ideal. This is how you kind of see yourself, right? Or the type of person you really want to be. And this is that person who is so much in complete control of their faculties, their skills, talents, abilities, their knowledge, their wisdom, and their capability to manifest those skills and talents. That this is the master, right? The magician, the full adept, the fully realized human being that is in complete control of themselves and can manifest almost at will, almost like magic, right? What their intentions are, what their will is, what they are aspiring to. So this is how you see yourself. This is the outward projection of your ideal self, right? Of your true self. This is who you really feel that you are, and this is what you're trying to further the becoming, right? You're trying to really get into that mode and live up to that highest ideal. Now, how close we can get to our highest ideal, I don't know, but it's good to have something like that set up. One, because it'll increase and boost your confidence, right? Having something to aspire to, and you can see how you're getting closer and closer. But then at the same time, and this is like the Mercury energy, it'll still keep you humble, right? Because you realize that you still have a long way to go. Okay, so it's that dual nature, that fluidity of Mercury, of the magician. A little bit of a trickster there, because as soon as you start to feel like you're on top of the world, right, and you're achieving this goal, there's going to come something, that moment, that thought, that observation that kind of dips things down, dips your confidence down a little bit. But that's just the trickster Mercury. Okay, and like we said, that's just the short-term, day-to-day fluctuations, but long-term, I think you're on a good trajectory, a good path. Now, below everything, beneath the surface, we have this Hierophant card. This is the card that rules Taurus, which is that earth energy that we were looking for, right? A little bit of earth here today. And this really is telling me that your motivations are very generous, very altruistic, very just very expansive in a way, right? You're willing to do the really hard work, the really difficult work, to see other people succeed as well. You know, so this is you really reaching out to help other people and to lift them up as you rise. You want those people that you care about, those around you, to rise as well, okay? So this could also be indicating that all of this is taking place in a larger organization, larger group of people. So I originally said, like, could be your family, your friends, could be your employer, the career field that you're in. But there's a larger group of people that are affected by, again, by your choices. And I think a lot of those choices to you may not seem like a choice. It may just seem like that's the only choice, right? I think that it's, you know, if you have to choose between two things, it's kind of a no-brainer. You know what the right thing to do is. So it's not really, in your eyes, it's not really a choice. It's just that's what I have to do. You know, and I think it's because you have this really tremendous compassion and care for the people around you, at least the people that are kind of in your group, in your circle, in your organization, okay? And the final thing I just want to mention again is the fluctuation of this confidence, right? The mental, it's going to play with your mind a little bit. Some days are going to be down, some days are going to be up. But if you look in the distance, I think you'll see that you're still headed right up that mountain, okay? But let's look at the path of the Serpent now and see what is going on over here. Your general energy, Three of Wands, this really is that fiery energy that kind of is behind all of this path of the dove stuff, right? The Three of Wands is your virtue, really. The key word for the card is virtue. This is what you believe in your heart, in your spirit, in your higher soul, that is right. You know, that is right for you. That is your moral compass, kind of, right? Your personal set of values and principles. And this is why I think that this choice that may, you know, I call it a choice, but in essence, it's not really a choice because there's only one right way for you to do things. You know, you're going to choose, the word choice again, or you're going to do what the right thing is, right? Regardless of how many other options there are, you're going to act based on what you believe is right, based on your principles. Okay, so I feel like that's really a strong motivation for you, because we see this Hierophant here showing the concern for the larger group of people around you. We see the Three of Wands, which is that concern for everyone else, and that acting from a place of really being very centered and knowing yourself and understanding what you believe in and what you feel is right or not right. You know what I mean? So it kind of takes the choice out of the thing for you. It's just kind of, there's only one way to do it. The next card is in the position of your relationships. Now we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So this is yet another card telling me that the things that you're working on, the things that you're doing, who you're trying to become, what you're trying to manifest, this really great idea that you have, this great plan, or this really intense focus, is for the greater benefit. You know, the benefit of your relationships, the people that are close to you. This is your expansive, generous energy, right? Your vitality that just reaches out to help everyone else. This is your emotional energy as well that reaches out to show compassion and empathy. This is your physical power, your physical like abundance and vitality that, you know, physically reaches out to help people who are in need, to provide for people who are in need, right? So we started out with this being the people that are just very close to you, your inner circle kind of, and then we kind of expanded to the larger organization that you're part of, and now we're expanding even further to just your concern for humankind itself, right? For the earth itself, for the universe, for every living thing in some ways. Okay, so this is a really expansive energy, that really beneficial, really generous energy that wants to just kind of include everyone in just a giant hug kind of thing. You know, that sounds silly, but the way I feel it is just an ever expanding circle, like arms that just keep going out and out and out and out until you can, you know, kind of collect everyone in. So I get that feeling with you, especially with some of the other cards that we see here. With the Hierophant, with the Three of Wands, it really feels like that is a large factor in your life. Okay, it's kind of an important thing to you. But the next card we see is more of this Swords, it's kind of dovetailing right off of this Five of Swords, which is that fluctuation, the kind of, the mental portion of this. When things are fluctuating, there's going to be a little bit of stress, anxiety. Things are going to be kind of up and down, a little shaky sometimes. The Eight of Swords here is you really getting locked into that, and with this feeling then, henceforth, of being unable to act. Okay, so the Swords idea here, this energy kind of thread that we're tracing, is to bring you to the awareness of what the potential is with this mental stuff, with the mind, the way it can kind of play these tricks on you. And of course, Mercury, the Magician, is a very mental card as well. So you run the risk of getting so far off of your central sword, right, that not only are you experiencing the ups and downs, the shakiness, the fluctuation of your confidence and of your perception of the events, but you may actually fall into this kind of mental prison, this trap, this snare, where the more you struggle against it, the tighter it kind of gets. And this is really just the negative thinking, right? That repetitive, the cycle of the negativity, the self-doubt, the self-criticism, and that confidence that's really just being pushed lower and lower and lower. So this is something that is, I think you are already aware of this tendency in yourself, right? Because it seems like it's going to be a concern for you in the future. And I think this energy is here to bring it closer to our awareness, right? Bring it a little closer to home to say, look, all of this is really fantastic energy. You have to not let your mind interfere with that. Like, a lot of this card is really just like shooting ourselves in the foot. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't help us at all. So it's a trap that we can fall into mentally, in our minds, in our reasoning, in our thought patterns, that just prevent us from acting, makes us feel like we're trapped, makes us feel like we're imprisoned, but really there's an easy way out. Now, I don't know what that easy way out is. Okay, I think that's different for all of us. It could be just having this awareness that this is kind of a risk that we run. That easy way out could just be holding on really tight to this ideal, to this sword. And it could be that this magician, this Mercury, is who is holding that sword. And if you do start to become ensnared or imprisoned in this kind of thought pattern, use this central sword to just kind of cut your way out of it. Hold fast to what your original ideal, your aim, your goal, your plan. Return to this central sword and don't fall for any of this Eight of Swords nonsense, right? The next card is an interesting card. This is the culmination of all of this. And it's interesting to see the Tower here, okay? Because this is some of that fire energy that we've seen a little bit of the fire energy, but this is a really explosive kind of fire, right? This is that martial fire. This is that maybe breakthrough moment. Maybe this is you really working on all of this energy, and then finally, like, it's all going to kind of come to a head, come to a climax, and you're going to have this success. You're going to have this breakthrough, this next level. Whatever you're trying to manifest, I think, is going to be showing these kinds of dips and twists and turns and, ups and downs. That's really going to start to kind of mess with your head, right? One day it seems really great. The next day you're like, oh man, what did I do? I think there's going to come a point where all that's going to be gone and you're just going to bust through the door or bust through the ceiling or whatever it is going to be abrupt, and it's going to seem kind of violent and forceful, this shock of reaching a certain level of success where the ups and downs don't really bother you so much anymore. They're not really kind of a non-issue, So this could be that Tower moment. Now, I like to always look at the Tower card as a very positive card. This is that breakthrough. This is that kind of blow up, that getting to the next level. And I think this is coming in the future. And I think it's through a lot of your hard work, and mostly kind of even more than the work itself. I don't even think, not that it's not hard work, but I don't think the physical, manifesting the work part of it is really an issue with you. I think the only thing that's in the way is some of this Swords energy. It's the self-defeating thoughts, really. Everything else is just like, yeah, you're going to make it. You're going to do it. You're going to have this breakthrough moment, okay? And I don't think things will ever be the same after this moment. Let's take a look at this confirmation card. I wonder if this is going to show some kind of aquatic connection, some sort of cups, some water energy, because we don't see that water here. Maybe it's just there's nothing really to talk about there. Maybe everything is just kind of pretty solid. But let's see. Let's see if this is water of some kind. Well, this is the Star. This is there's a beautiful card here, Ancient Italian Tarot. This is the Star card. This is, it rules Aquarius, and that's an air sign. But this card really is a lot about the water energy, right? It's about kind of that refreshing, the spiritual insight, the grace and the blessing that you feel, right? So I almost think that through all of this work, you're really trying not to get attached to it, right? I think the water is not here in this main reading because you don't want to jinx it. You know what I mean? I think you're waiting for all of this to happen before you can really allow yourself that emotional reaction to it. Okay, so right now it's just it's all business. It's all getting through all of this Swords energy. It's trying to deal with this fire. It's the concern for everyone else. And this kind of celebration moment, this Star moment, this realization or this acceptance of things is going to come later, maybe after this Tower. Maybe the Tower moment here this is going to be maybe the lightning and thunder that opens up the sky, right? And this kind of starlight or this refreshing divine grace, this water can flow in. Maybe that's going to be the thunder and lightning, like I said, that break the clouds open. So I feel like there's kind of a delayed gratification here. Like you don't want to jinx it by allowing yourself that emotional response just yet. Okay, but I think it's coming, and I think that's why we see the Tower card leading directly into the Star card. I think there's not much you can do about it now. You just kind of got to go with it, embrace it, get through this Swords stuff. You're going to reach your Tower moment, and that's going to open up this tremendous feeling, satisfaction. The only way this could be any better, and I don't even think the Empress would be better. I think that the Star card is perfect. It's kind of a blending of the air and the water. It's has a little bit of that Empress energy to it, a little bit of just the feeling of the Empress, really, just the satisfaction, the allowing yourself to feel good about this, you know. And again, I think I'm getting this feeling like you don't want to count the chickens before they're hatched, you know. You don't want to allow yourself to celebrate or really even feel. You just want to not jinx it. I don't know how else to say it. So you're putting a hold kind of on allowing yourself this. But this is coming, and I think you deserve it, and I think you've earned it, and I think you should enjoy it. Anyway, Cancer, we're going to do an extended reading here. If you want to become a member to this channel, you can click on the link down in the description box. It's a great way to support the channel. I appreciate you watching this video, and leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this is resonating with you. This was your New Year 2023 tarot reading on Dove and Serpent Tarot, and I'll see you again.